Hello, bonjour and herzlich willkommen to our live stream of the 2016 Geneva Motor Show here at Hyundai Motor booth. My name is Claudia, and for the next few minutes I will guide you through the latest news. I show you some really interesting new models and other highlights here in Geneva. First of all, we have a great premiere going on today. Hyundai Motor will unveil the all-new Ioniq, and this is the first vehicle platform in the world with 3 electrified powertrains, making low to zero emission mobility accessible to everyone. The lineup includes the Ioniq Hybrid, the Ioniq Plug-in and the Ioniq Electric. And let me tell you already, you can expect absolutely great driving experience and a really pleasing design to come your way. And of course we will hear more about how the Ioniq is an important milestone for Hyundai Motor's sustainable strategy, but more of that later. There is even more great news for Hyundai fans looking for something faster and more thrilling. The new generation i20 WRC car is showcased here in Geneva, and we have an amazing video of Rally Sweden where the team just scored another podium finish. Earlier I also had a chance to chat with some experts from Hyundai, and they told me some really interesting insights about the company and our fabulous new cars here in Geneva. So enjoy their exclusive interviews before we will watch the official press conference together. And now let's hear the views of Thomas Schmid and Jochen Senkpiel, both senior executives at Hyundai Motors Europe, before we will find out more about those great new cars. Can you give us an update on the progress of the Hyundai business in Europe?
Yes, of course. The last year, 2015, was the best ever year in Europe for Hyundai in sales, and we sold more than 470,130 units. And that means 10.9% increase versus 2014, where we're outperforming the market. And a strong support of this was our young model lineup. We have the youngest lineup in the industry, and we renewed almost 80% of our model line in 2015.
So what is the most relevant model in Europe?
The most relevant model and currently the most successful is our all-new Tucson. Until now, until today, we got more than 150,000 orders, and this since last September. It's an amazing success.
And what is the plan for 2016, and what are the highlights?
In 2016 we want to continue with our organic growth, and we are in favor of our very young, as mentioned before, model lineup with the first full year of sales. Furthermore, we want to grow our market share by convincing new customers of our values and innovation we bring to the market. Yeah? And with our passions, we will shift or change the perception of Hyundai brand in Europe. And the real story, the big launch, will be here in Geneva with our all-new Ioniq. It's a dedicated model for hybrid, plug-in hybrid and full electric, yeah? And this in one single body style.
And what is your expectation for e-mobility acceptance by customers?
The customer accepting this, and our belief and understanding is that we will have a constant growth of e-mobility in the coming years by 20% annually, and in 2020 it will reflect a volume of 6.4 million globally. And our all-new Ioniq is a milestone for Hyundai's sustainability strategy. And this brings new thinking to life. And this will further support our organic, environmental friendly growth in Europe.
Right, thank you very much for your time, and thanks for the interview.
Thank you.
the highlights at this year's show. So what is the brand perspective on it?
Ioniq car line is, I would say, playing one of the most important roles for this year. We want to electrify the car industry, and we are dedicated to launch these cars this year in Geneva Motorshow. And Ioniq will become a brand ambassador for the next years. It's not only a car line, it's an initiative on our urban mobility concepts.
So what is it like to drive such an innovative car?
We are the first car manufacturer in the world launching 3 powertrains in one car: electric car, plug-in and hybrid. And together with our fuel cell car, we are one of the most innovative car companies in the world. So that's why we are really proud of what we have launched and what we are launching this year. And we are really self-confident that Ioniq will become a very important car for us this year.
The Ioniq is big on connectivity, so tell us about your approach.
Connectivity is one of the most important, I would say, features in the Ioniq lineup. And we are bringing Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, TomTom Live Service, including a wireless charging for mobile phones and a storage for iPad. So connectivity and zero emission makes fun to drive and fun to sell cars.
Can you give us an insight into the cars we can expect in the future?
I don't know right now what the future brings, but it's for sure it's a combination of urbanization, digitalization and zero emission. And Ioniq is the initiative and the kick-off of our global urban mobility concept. And yeah, we're thinking about what's next, and we will present it within the next months. Thank you very much.
Thanks again, Jochen and Thomas, for your time and those valuable insights. It was very interesting indeed. We will see and hear much more about the Ioniq today. But before that, let's do as Jochen suggested. Let's have a closer look together at the special features of the Euro 2016 models.
Want to get something real? Real deals from Hyundai. Save up to €5,000 for an i10, i20 or i30 Special Edition. Hyundai.
Hyundai offers special edition models for the i10, i20 and the i30. Privacy glasses and other details such as alloy wheels differentiate the Euro 2016 models from the regular equipment. See these dark tinted windows in the back doors and the tailgate, and they have 3 distinct benefits. First of all, they conceal occupants and possessions from prying eyes. They help prevent heat buildup and bright sunlight, and last but not least, they just look great. Furthermore, special design details underline the unique and personal touch. The special edition models are absolutely great for customers seeking individuality. And here are 2 examples. Have a look at the blue design elements around the air vents. It is also repeated around the gear shift. And have you seen this 2-tone stitching on the leather steering wheel, adding more structure? You'll find the blue and white stitching also on the seats, where they embellish the contours of the seats and give the interior a sportive touch. This corner at the Hyundai stand shows the global luxury brand called Genesis. A new definition of luxury with a complete focus on customers. The G90, which is showcased here in Geneva, is premiering in Europe and gives a glimpse into the future direction of Genesis brand. And now, let's go back to the Ioniq and talk about the tech part. We are hearing much about the Ioniq today. So, what is the technical story behind this new model?
Well, looking at Ioniq, the first thing that you see is of course the design. But the car is not only designed to look good, but it's also designed to reduce the coefficient of drag to an absolute minimum. We also use some technologies, for instance, like the active air flaps, which help to achieve this target. Then most importantly, of course, are the 3 different powertrains that we offer on Ioniq. The hybrids, first of all, they are based on a 1.6 GDI gasoline engine. It stands out for a very high efficiency, thermal efficiency of 40%, and this is linked to the 6-speed dual clutch transmission. This in combination also with the rear multi-link suspension on the rear for the hybrids ensures a very dynamic ride that you wouldn't expect from this type of vehicle actually. Add to that and the e-motor, which offers instant torque, and you understand this is also a very fun to drive car. Finally, and last but not least, is the battery pack. It's the latest generation lithium-ion polymer battery, which is actually more compact and also lighter compared to some older batteries. And altogether, this offers a very efficient package for Ioniq.
Okay, and why offer every powertrain option in one vehicle?
Well, at Hyundai we have the ambition to bring all the technology to as many people as possible. So also by creating synergies by this one body type with the 3 different powertrains, this allows us to again remain very accessible with all the powertrains for most of the customers. And we believe the customer should have the full choice to choose that powertrain that fits his needs and fits his profile the best.
Okay, and what about the regular powertrains?
So the regular diesel and gasoline engines are an essential part of our success in Europe. So these will also remain very relevant for us as Hyundai in Europe. So today we are happy to announce a brand new powertrain for Tucson, for instance. Tucson, we just launched it in September last year, and meanwhile we already have more than 115,000 orders collected. So the new powertrain that we announced today is the 1.7 diesel unit. It offers now 141 horsepower, and it's mated to a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, which offers actually 20% better fuel efficiency compared to the 6-speed automatic. Can I remind you also that we just started selling i20 with a brand new 1-liter 3-cylinder turbo GDI engine. So again, another example of how we combine better fuel efficiency with fun to drive.
Okay, now let's have a look together into the future. What comes next?
So what's next is basically visible here on our booth in Geneva. We present here also a brand new 1.4 Kappa turbo GDI engine. So again, it's a nice example of more fuel efficient engines where also driving dynamics are very important. So this engine will come to some of our models already in the near future. And this is again a nice example of how we think downsizing will also be very important in the future.
Thank you very much for your time in the interview. Thanks.
You're welcome.
So, after hearing all about this great new technology, it is time now to have a look at the first car carrying the N logo, the i20 WRC car. And here it is at Rally Sweden in mid-February. And just have a look how it performed. Woohoo! So here we are again, right on time. The Hyundai stand is packed with people as the official press conference is about to begin. Enjoy your VIP front row seat as I hand you over to the live stream. See you after the press conference.
I'm a question mark, walking, talking, question mark. Ooh. use, figuring it all out. I guess a man alone always talks too much. Can't start again, so he's just continuing the same. Asking what's the use? What's the use? What's the use? What's the use? Yeah. What's the use? What's the use? What's the use? What's the use? Baby? What's the use?
I think car manufacturers in the future will work closely with governments in order to understand traffic in the cities, and hopefully this will result in fewer car accidents.
How about no more traffic jams on the road? Ever.
What about cars that transform themselves in whatever you needed, whenever you needed it? It could be an electric bike or van.
I'm always late to class. I would love it if my car could wake me and have a hot coffee ready for the drive to university.
How great would it be if our cars generated energy for us to use in our homes?
What if during the ride, we could learn more about the environment in an easy and entertaining way?
I can see personalized car sharing becoming big.
I prefer to have my own car, but it would be more than just moving around. It would be about convenience.
My car in the future is going to have strings and it is going to fly.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome explorer and environmentalist, Mr. David de Rothschild.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to welcome you to the Hyundai Motor Company press conference. I'm David de Rothschild, an adventurer, environmentalist, and storyteller. I'm a passionate supporter of innovations that promote sustainability and reduce impact on our environment. As the founder of the Lost Explorer and the head of the Sculpt the Future Foundation, raising awareness around climate change and supporting positive ideas for a greener future are issues that are close to my heart. Therefore, I'm excited to be here today to talk about Hyundai Motor Vision for sustainable mobility and a better world for all. Imagine, if you will, that the year is not 2016, but 2050. Outside, the view may be a little different from today. Perhaps we'll see the kind of future portrayed in our favorite films. The worlds of Metropolis and Total Recall. Worlds in which technology has become so advanced we're all traveling around in flying cars. Every generation has a vision for what the future will look like. For Hyundai Motor, the future is not a distant place that we'll eventually arrive at. Hyundai Motor brings the future closer. And today, I'd like to share the future that Hyundai Motor is creating. Hyundai Motor's vision of future mobility is to bring new freedom to our daily lives without any limitations and restrictions of today. Project Ionic is an ongoing research and development project of Hyundai Motor to innovate mobility for changing our lifestyles in the future. In other words, it's an effort to help people find smart, effortless ways in realizing freedom in mobility in their everyday lifestyle, while also pursuing freedom from pollution and other burdens such as traffic hazards and congestion. Project Ionic thinks innovatively. It embraces new technologies and services that will make tomorrow's modern lifestyles more convenient. Project Ionic moves innovatively too, with in-car technologies that bring people and their destinations closer through clever design, connectivity, and intelligent systems. Project Ionic understands people's changing lifestyles. Together with customers, Hyundai Motor rethinks the entire mobility experience. But to really understand Ionic's future, to really understand what it's all about, you need to hear from the people that are designing, building, and creating the project right now.
Will cars continue to be just a means of transport, just as they have been for the last 100 years? We want to change the idea that being inside a car is tiring and dull. If we could shop, relax, work, take care of household chores, and even get our health checkups while traveling by car, imagine how much valuable time we could free up. Imagine how much more flexible our lives could become. The future that we envision is not about making a choice between mobility and life. It's about bringing mobility and life together, so that our journeys can be more useful and rewarding. Now, I'd like to welcome Tayo Usobu.
The world is becoming more and more complex, but one thing remains true when it comes to people's mobility needs. They want to be free of constraints and limitations. At Hyundai, we are exploring types and forms of new vehicles that will cater to the diverse needs and lifestyles of our future customers. We don't limit ourselves to the current role and form of the car. These future cars could be without wheels. They could even transform themselves depending on what we need from them. Our goal is always the same: to create a world in which people can move freely and without constraints. I'd like to now welcome Vice Chairman Yang.
We at Hyundai Motor Company strive hard to provide sustainable means of mobility through continuous research and development. Our goal is to create future mobility that coexists with our lifestyles and society. The brand new Ionic that we are introducing today is the very fruit of these efforts. Ionic is the world's first vehicle to offer hybrid, plug-in hybrid, and pure electric powertrains in a single body type. This vehicle meets all the standards of an eco-friendly vehicle without compromising the fun to drive. But our efforts will not stop here. We will continue to make technological strides in various areas to bring freedom and convenience in mobility for our customers with ever-improved safety. And at the heart of all our efforts lies prioritizing technologies and research that will benefit human life and the environment for the sake of our future generations. Now, I would like to welcome Vice Chairman Chung.
Today, our cars are so much smarter than anything we could have imagined in the past. But we are not yet free from the stress and anxieties produced by the car, like pollution, traffic, congestion, accidents, and many more. Up until now, these problems have been accepted as a cost we must bear. But what if we could eliminate all these limitations and constraints that we currently take for granted? Wouldn't that make our lives so much better? Project Ionic is inspired by these very questions. It is a long-term research and development project aimed at incubating innovations in mobility. Our research starts from a study into the people and the societies that they live in, and we will seek to expand the concept and role of the car in ways unimagined before. The purpose of this project is to realize freedom in mobility, to discover and develop innovations that make moving from one place to another entirely free of limitations or constraints, and to look beyond the automobile and create a completely new lifestyle for the future. The future mobility lifestyle that we envisage is about staying connected to our daily lives all the time, without being restricted by the limitation of time and space. It's about being able to drive comfortably and safely, regardless of our physical conditions. And it's about living in a world where pollution and environmental hazards are not the norm. But the most important idea that underlies all of this is our determination to make this a reality for all, so that everyone, not just a select few, can enjoy better, more fulfilling lives, a mobility lifestyle that liberates us all. That is our vision for Project Ionic.
4 stories, 4 snapshots of a desirable future, 1 vision. Not inside some cartoon animated spaceship, not on another planet, not inside some faraway utopian city, but right here, right now. That is what Ionic is all about. Now, let's join Hyundai Motor in bringing to life the vision for future mobility. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Ionic, the first vehicle from any manufacturer to offer customers 3 alternative fuel powertrain options in a single body type: the hybrid, the plug-in, and the electric. The Ionic models you see here today are the first step in Hyundai's motor vision for future mobility and in executing Project Ionic that I explained earlier. A clear indication of the company's ambition and a continuation of its innovative and eco-friendly nature. In 2013, Hyundai Motor launched the iX35 fuel cell, the world's first mass-produced fuel cell electronic vehicle. This dedication to invest in future technologies remains at the heart of Ionic. In launching Ionic, Hyundai Motor achieves another world first, providing 3 alternative powertrains in a single vehicle that is designed from the ground up to be an eco-friendly model. The Ionic Electric will meet the needs of increasingly urbanized customer base. The Ionic Plug-in bridges the gap between fully electric and regular hybrid motoring, providing a best of both worlds solution to customers with varied lifestyle and diverse travel needs. And coming to market first, the Ionic Hybrid. It is the easiest step for customers to take towards low-emission motoring, boasting class-leading fuel economy and very low CO2 emissions. The advances demonstrate innovative lengths to which Hyundai Motor engineers will go to achieve a new vision for future mobility. Breaking the mold for hybrid vehicles, Ionic not only delivers class-leading eco-credentials, but also brings customer a fun, responsive drive, attractive design, and advanced connectivity. This is a unique mix not yet achieved by a hybrid. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2016 Ioniq lineup.
You are now welcome to take photos of the stage. Thank you for your attention.
It's only been a week, the rush of being home and rapid fading, failing to recall what I was missing all that time in England. It sent me aimlessly.
Thank you very much for joining our live stream, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Don't forget to follow us and join the discussion about Hyundai on Twitter and Instagram. To keep track with our latest news and fantastic new models, we invite you to the newsroom at hyundai.news. Thanks again for watching, take care and see you next time.
Hyundai.